Welcome and thank you for coming, you guys. I really greatly appreciate this from the bottom of my heart. I really do. Music is the most relative and most universal language on the planet. It affects people in so many different ways. It is so inspirational to some people, and it is so effective to some people, that it doesn't matter what age group you are in, it is still something that affects all of us. It brings out mood, it brings out happiness, it brings out sadness, it brings out so many different types of feelings. It's crazy. It's not just for one type of personality, it's for many types of personalities. It's for all generations. That being said, music therapy is for all generations. It is not just for one type of person. And what I'm going to be discussing with you today is how music therapists take certain tactics and apply it to certain types of individuals. And yet, at the end, you can see how it affects all of us all at the same time. So, let's start out with infants. Infants, it is shown that infants are important to us, right? It's important how they prosper, how they grow, how they develop. Music is a great and key aspect to this development. It shows growth and it shows prosperity. In a research that I've done, it shows that, according to a study that I've read, music therapists came in to a hospital in an NICU, and they observed over 200 infants in 11 different NICUs. And at the end of the day, at the results, after like a week period or so, it showed that infants developed quickly, like really quickly, like their feeding skills went up, and they slept better, and they were more content. They weren't screaming, they weren't whining, they were more content with music therapy. And the parents were less stressed and were more relaxed as well, which is very beneficial. For young adults and youth, music therapists come in and help them have self-expression. Do you remember in elementary school when your teacher would go up to the board and write notes, and how you found that the most boring thing in the world? You were like pumped for this. When you went into class, you were more focused on the idea of playing with the instruments that were in the back of the room. So when you actually got the chance to get the sticks, you know those sticks with colorful, like they were either red or they were blue, and they had like little ridges on them, and you either slapped them together or you scraped them across to make a different sound, and you got into the circle, and you played those mini marimba things. They're not really called marimbas, but you know, those little xylophone things. And you would play it in a circle, and one person would have a beat, and the other person would have another beat, and then you like form a song. That's what music therapy does for our youth. They take this kind of concept, but they apply it to other instruments. You can learn how to play guitar, you can learn how to play drums, piano, whatever. The whole point of it is not to be crafty in your, like the instrument of your choice. It's more about expression. It's about letting loose, breaking the ice, having conversation starters. Because there's a lot of youth out there that are really shy and they're really conservative and they don't want to branch out. But music gives them that aspect, it gives them that idea so that they can branch out and have conversation starters. And it's great. So, when I was reading an article about senior citizens, I came across a story about a woman whose husband was battling Alzheimer's disease. And she said that, in the quote she said, "My husband has been battling Alzheimer's disease for so long. He doesn't hardly recognize me anymore. But once I was encouraged by a music therapist to sing to my husband, he seemed to recognize me for the first time. He actually looked into my eyes and he saw me as me and not just some stranger. And on the last day of his life, she said that he finally, he spoke to me and said that he recognized me as me, not some other person. And music therapy did that for him. And she said that I'll forever be grateful and amazed and blessed that I had that opportunity with him before he passed away. How cool is that, you guys? I mean, think about it. Like, has Alzheimer's disease, he can't remember anything, and then a music therapist comes in and basically brings him back to life for even just a moment. It was awesome. When a similar incident happened to me a couple weeks ago at the mock interview here on campus, I was freaking out, waiting in the waiting room, and the woman next to me, who was also waiting to be interviewed, started a conversation with me. And she's like, hey, what do you want to do after you graduate? I'm like, well, I'd like to become a music therapist. And she's like, that's wonderful, that's awesome. My mother, she says, was battling cancer for a really long time. And she was in a lot of pain and a lot of stress, and she just, agony. And that hurt her as well as her mother, of course. And she said during her hospice care, she brought in a music therapist to help her with this process. And she said that she's never seen her mother more relaxed and more happy and more peaceful than through the whole process than what she was with the music therapist. What are the chances of that? They're sitting and waiting to be interviewed, thinking about your own personal stuff going on, and then this woman comes in and tells you about this beautiful story about her mother going into peace, going to heaven into peace because of music therapy. That's how it affected her. It made her feel so relaxed and so peaceful. It goes to show you that music therapy doesn't just affect the patient, it affects the friends and the family and everyone else around them, which is really neat. But seniors can benefit from music therapy in many different ways. It helps with mood, it helps with stress, and it helps with a whole other bunch of different aspects. And music therapists take the idea of with youth, how they have the hands-on experience and how they express themselves. They take the same kind of concept, but of course they kind of tune it down a little bit. Seniors, generally, they don't learn how to play guitar. They don't learn how to play piano. Some patients, sure, if they're up for that, totally do it. But most of the time, it's more like a tambourine or maracas, something more simplistic, something more low-key. But it does the same thing. And also, another thing that it does is that it helps with muscle movement and muscle tension. Music helps relax us. It literally makes our bodies droopy and can do whatever it wants. What happens, have you ever been walking down by the UC and with your earbuds in, and you find yourself dancing to music? Not literally breaking out dancing, but you're stepping with the time. You're stepping with the beat, or you're walking with the beat, or running with the beat, or you're just tapping your toe when you hear it, and you don't know why it's happening. It just happens, right? Well, what's going on there is that our brain gets signals from our spinal cord, and it makes us, our neurons, tell our brain to be entertained. It naturally entertains our body, that we automatically move without even thinking about it. It's pretty neat, right? It also helps with memory loss for senior citizens. It's very important for this. When a music therapist plays a song from when they're about 18 to 25 years old, it seems to trigger so much more memories than something that they're not familiar with. I know when I'm at performances and I play a song from the 1950s and there's a lot of blue hairs, no offense to them, but a lot of them have blue hair. A lot of blue hairs, I play a song from their youth, something either really danceable. One of the favorite ones, you probably won't even know who this is or what this is, but Dean Martin, he has a song called Houston. And the crowd goes crazy for it. The blue haired goes crazy for it. And I can't tell you how many times I've seen them get up and start dancing with each other. And then coming back to me and saying, oh my gosh, I haven't heard that song in so long. It's so awesome. Thank you for playing. How did you even know about this? It's really great. So music therapists take that kind of an idea and bring it about to seniors. And they can sing along, they can play along. And it just helps them be more connected between the therapist and themselves. And they feel happy. And that's the point, is to get emotions expressed. And that's fabulous. So, in conclusion, music therapy is not just for one type of person, not for one type of individual. It is for everybody. It affects all of us in similar and yet different ways. It is really beneficial for youth because of the self-expression, and it's also very beneficial for seniors because of the way that they express themselves and how it can trigger everything inside. And I want to thank you all so much again for coming, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much. Are we good?
With a show of hands, how many people are in the room? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10.